William Marshall's life was, the background to it was of political turmoil and expansion. There were the French Revolutionary Wars, the Napoleonic Wars, and the British Empire growing and growing as the 19th century progressed. And so it's no surprise that Marshall's tunes sometimes have a military title to them. What Britain needed at that time was an efficient and capable and indeed brave army and a well-disciplined and skilled navy, and that both of those things they possessed. So I'm going to play some of the tunes that William Marshall wrote which have a military connection. And the first is a Strathspey, Captain Charles Gordon, Royal Navy, Huntly. Gordon. Our next tune stays at that rank, another captain, but a captain in the army, Captain William MacLeod. And he was in the 6th Veteran Battalion. This was not Dad's army, it was a group of soldiers, experienced soldiers, who sort of served their time, but were like auxiliaries or part-timers ready to serve again if need arose. His Captain William MacLeod's fancy, as it's called, is a jig. A jig. Here it goes. Second half of that tune imitates military trumpet calls, like that. The next tune is, we're going up in rank. This is a General Stuart of West Park in Elgin. West Park was the fine house in which he lived. Beyond that, I don't know anything about him. But this is a march, very much a military tune. Marshall wrote 2 marches that I know of, and you'll hear the other one later. But here's General Stuart's march from West Park, Elgin. General Stuart with a suitably brisk military march for him. The army, of course, this was a time of empire, and the army went right across the world, certainly to India. India was an important area for the British Army. And this next tune, which is a reel, is Major L Stewart's reel of the island of Java of all places. But Major L Stewart, who was the brother of John Stuart, one of the directors of the East India Company, Major L Stewart served in the Indian Army, but served part of his time on Java, and he was always associated with that exotic place. I'm sure he never forgot it. Here we go, the reel. Major L Stewart. Now we've reached the point where we turn to Marshall and his own family. He had 6 children, a girl who married a builder called McInnes, a young lad who became a jeweller, very skilled, and went down to London, and the other 4 children, every one of them, joined the army. I'll tell you about them. Not, I'm afraid, at all a happy story, though they were all brave men and they all did well. The first was Alexander. He rose to the rank of major, like Major Stuart. He was in the Indian army, but he contracted illnesses, multiple illnesses, and was weakened and had to come back to Scotland, where he died in 1807 in his parents' home at Keithmore. After him we have William, who was named after his father, of course, and he rose to the rank of colonel. He fought at Quatre Bras, which was the skirmish before Waterloo, and there he lost his right arm. Nonetheless, he survived, he came home, and he lived a long life until he was over 80, and he was responsible for the memorial which was raised to his father in Belly Church in Fochabers. So that was Colonel William, the only one to survive his service. The third one was Captain John. He was in the Cameronians, and he was famous. He was called the Hercules of the regiment because he was a big man and immensely strong. He served in the Indian Army again. He contracted cholera, which is one of the most unpleasant illnesses you can come across, and he died within 2 or 3 days. And on his last night, he destroyed all the furniture in his room in his distress and agony. A horrible story. And the youngest was Lieutenant George, and he served in Spain. And in 1812 in Spain, it must have been in the Peninsular War. No, was that then? No, was that early? I don't know. Forget I said that. I might be wrong. In any case, in Spain, he, like his unfortunate brothers, became ill, and like his unfortunate brothers, he did not survive. So that was 4 out of 6 of the children who died, 3 out of 6 of the children who died, and all with military connections. However, William Marshall wrote for his son, Colonel William Marshall of the 79th Regiment of Foot, a wonderful strathspey. So here it is. And the final tune is that other march that I mentioned earlier on. There's no connection with the family here. It's just, as I said, this is a military video, and this is a military tune. A fine march, Captain Cameron's Volunteers March, Balvenie, by William Marshall.